Speaking of Barcelona, what a lovely another quiet day it has been for Joan Laporta, as it was confirmed that Xavi is sacked. This has been quite the soap opera. If you go back to, say, 2023, September, signs an extension with the club to take him through next season. They then lose 5-3 against Villarreal. He announces he's leaving. Fast forward to April, where he decides he's going to stay, and then today they sack him. So that is where we're at. So this is what Xavi had to say about leaving the club. Of course, we made such an impact as a player, not so much as a manager. It's never easy to leave the club of your life, but I'm very proud after 2.5 years at the head of a dressing room that it's been like a second family. From Sunday, I'll be another fan in the stands, because before being a player or a coach, I'm a Barcelona supporter, and I only want the best for the club in my life, which will always have me at its disposal. Alex is with us.
Well, they need the money, so he could always buy a season book.
Yes, he can buy a season ticket indeed. Alex, considering all the news, all the rumblings that's been going on after he made that very honest press conference where he said basically we're a completely different level to Real Madrid, there was almost an inevitability about this.
Yeah, we knew this was coming, but still, I think you can't help but be kind of surprised at just how badly Barcelona have handled this. Xavi should have listened to his instincts. He wanted to leave this summer. That was the plan. He knew the situation there wasn't right, that Laporta and the board didn't trust him. He wanted to go. He allowed himself to be convinced into staying. He was told that, things would be different. It was wishful thinking, because he's off again. And that's happened because an alternative candidate who we think is Hansi Flick has become available. We expect Flick to be the next Barcelona coach. And like I said, the way that Barca have done this, it's not just, treating any coach like this, I think would be bad, but treating Xavi like this, one of your greatest ever players, it's a really, really bad look for Barcelona. Yes, Xavi should have, like I say, gone with his instinct to leave in the first place. Maybe he's a little bit responsible there, but the way that Laporta and the club have handled this. Now, is the outcome in the end the right one? Yeah, it probably is. Should Xavi be in charge of Barcelona next season? No, he probably shouldn't, the way this season has gone. Certainly the way things were behind the scenes, the way those relationships had deteriorated. But like I say, the way that it's been done, the way that it's been managed, it's such a bad look for Barcelona. Even if, in the end, like I say, come next season, will they be in a better place, in a stronger place with a new coach in position? Yes, they probably will be.
That's fair, isn't it? They've come to the right decision, but through a horrible scenic route.
Oh, absolutely. And unfortunately, we talked about this at the time with Xavi, he gave them an opportunity to hang him out to dry, and they did. And they'll always do that. Clubs will always generally, most clubs, not them all, but most clubs will do that, particularly the big ones. And why? And we had a conversation recently about Thomas Tuchel thinking about doing the same thing, and with Stevie and I were all on the same page going, this is madness. This is madness. He's got to get out of there, because if it wasn't working then, it's not going to work now and in the future. And why he changed his mind or how he was talked into it, I don't know. Whether it was the fact that he made some changes and defensively they got stronger and he thought, maybe I can sort of fix this ship and things will be better. But he should have, as Alex said, he should have just went with his instincts. It would have been much cleaner all round, but particularly for him, the ignominy is saying, I'm staying. And then a few weeks later, basically, the club was saying, no, you're not. It is not good.
What about Hansi Flick, Stevie? What's he walking into?
Well, again, Hansi Flick probably thinks that he's the man, like all coaches, to change things.
Right.
That's just the way that coaches think. But I'm going to say the same thing as I did about Pochettino. I think Barcelona have done Xavi a favour. And this guy coming in, if it is Hansi Flick, if he thought it was bad at Bayern, with people meddling, then all you've got to do is look at what's just happened to Xavi and just say to yourself, you better be prepared for anything. Because that's exactly what he's walking into. He's not walking into a situation where he's going to be able to go and change a lot of players. He's not going to be able to do an awful lot, but he knows there's a guy sitting up the stairs who's just sitting looking over him. And you never know what he's going to do.
He walked into an unhappy camp at Bayern. Did a great job there. It was Germany.
Brilliant job.
It was Germany where it sort of unfurled for him. And now Nagelsmann's picked it up and seems to be getting a much better tune out of that squad of players. But when he went into that one, Thomas Tuchel was unhappy. All these experienced players were unhappy. But I get the feeling that, well, in fact, I'm pretty sure as much as there was people meddling behind the scenes at Bayern, they did not have the problems and issues that Barcelona has and that he's going to have.
This is a big roll of the dice, isn't it, from Joan Laporta and Alex?
Yeah, but look, Flick is a coach that he's liked for a long time. I think Barca, going back as far as 2021, Barca were looking at him potentially to take charge rather than Ronald Koeman. It couldn't happen at that time because Flick's commitment to Germany. But this is a coach that Barca like, that Joan Laporta likes. I mean, I think he's been a fan in general of German coaches. And so at least, I guess, going into next season, you're starting from a position of confidence. You're starting from a position of the president believes that this coach is the right man. The problem with Xavi is that Laporta didn't think that Xavi was the right man, and they'd end up in a position where he was going to be in charge next season anyway, which isn't healthy for anybody. So at least you're starting from a position, like I say, of confidence and of trust. Yes, Barcelona are, of course, a difficult club to manage. The environment around the club is as difficult as around any club in world football, potentially. But it's still Barcelona. It's still an incredibly attractive proposition for a coach. You still look at that squad of players and think about how many good players there, good young players, in particular, the likes of Lamine Yamal and Gavi and Pedri and Kubasi. Someone like Flick can look at that squad and think, I can do something here. I can improve this team. And of course, there's this huge challenge of challenging Real Madrid and how strong they've been this season, might be even stronger next season potentially. So you can see why it's attractive to someone like Flick. There is sort of margin for improvement there, despite all the problems and all the issues that he might face.